Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about plugins and what makes a really good plugin and also why there are so many bad plugins out there. Whose fault is it really? And I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite plugin companies out there, and so I want to make sure to say this up front that this is not sponsored. They have no idea I'm making this video. So this is a genuinely honest opinion on my experience on these good and bad plugins. First, let's kind of define what a plugin is if you don't happen to know. A plugin is essentially a way to add features or extra functionality to a piece of software that didn't already have that feature. Now, plugins can be made by the same company who made the software. For example, Final Cut, Apple can make plugins for Final Cut. Same with Adobe makes a bunch of plugins for Premiere, but usually plugins you can get from anywhere, from places like Envato Elements, Motion Array. Honestly, there are thousands of developers who make some pretty awesome plugins. Actually, I just made a video on Cine, which is an awesome plugin for DaVinci Resolve, Premiere, and soon to be Final Cut. That's over on my second channel, the Edit Place. Plugin's called Cine. It allows you to basically match any two cameras. So in that video, I matched iPhone 12 Pro Max footage to my Pocket 6K in the matter of seconds. It's crazy. You should go check it out. Link in the description. And honestly, if you're a creator, odds are you've tested out or used plugins on a daily basis. And so I think we all know that there are a wide range of plugins that run very smoothly and ones that not so much. And so the main plugin company I want to talk about is motionvfx, because in my opinion, they have changed the plugin game forever and they have set the ultimate standard of plugins. Now, motionvfx has a wide range of templates and plugins, primarily like 99% for Final Cut. They do make some Adobe templates, but all of their plugins are Final Cut exclusives. So I just want to interrupt myself and do a little self-promotion. See, I've started a new program called One-on-One. Here's the gist. I love helping people create setups and workflows that are customized to them. We all love watching educational videos on YouTube, so where you can get different nuggets of lighting and things like that. But what we always have to do is watch someone else's gear, setup, location, and kind of be like, okay, well, my room is smaller, or I don't have that light, or I don't have that lens. And so then you still have to kind of figure things out through trial and error to make things work for you. And that's exactly what I've been doing for the past 10 years or so. And so I would love to help kind of expedite that process for as many of you as I can. And so I wanted to create a platform where you and I can hop on a call together and specifically talk about your needs, your restrictions, your speed bumps, and create some solutions so that way you can get back to creating or whatever it is you want to do faster. Now, I love replying and talking to as many as I can, but I created this program and I put a price to it because I want to make sure that whoever actually does sign up, I want to give them my undivided attention and give them 110% in comparison to when I'm just have a few minutes trying to respond to YouTube comments. It's just not the same experience. And so if you value something like that, then check out more details down below. And if it doesn't sound interesting to you, no worries, no harm, no foul. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of my videos. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Now, when it comes to the design of a plugin, of course, we can debate that all day long because it just kind of depends on the taste of what you're going for. But what's less debatable is how easy is it to install that plugin and actually use it? What sort of parameters do you get to make customized changes? So if we look at this other plugin, for example, from something like, again, Motion Array or Envato Elements, maybe a plugin for DaVinci Resolve, because those are few and far between. And as someone who uses DaVinci Resolve as their primary editor, it's been pretty rough. Because a lot of times you'll download these folders and there's going to be these package files that you need to open, and depending if it's a title, a transition, or other sort of effect, you essentially need to open the subfolder system of DaVinci Resolve, find where the titles, transitions, make sure you copy, paste it into the proper folder. If you want it to be in a different subfolder or category, you need to make sure that you're doing it properly, or else it's not going to show up in the software or it's going to break. And after you do it once or twice, it's not necessarily difficult, but it is quite a few steps. And if you ever need to remove or kind of re-update that plugin, you have to do it all over again. And then once you actually get into using the plugins, especially in DaVinci Resolve, the experience is pretty subpar. Now, I want to make it clear that I'm not really blaming bad coding from developers. I've actually talked to a couple of developers who make DaVinci Resolve plugins, and they say it's been pretty difficult because on Blackmagic's end, I'm not a developer, I'm not going to be able to do the nerdy terminology, but essentially Blackmagic and DaVinci Resolve is not fully there yet in terms of making it easy on developers to create plugins that are really useful. So for example, if I look at all my titles here and I scrub back and forth, some of them I can kind of preview, and it's definitely pretty not fluid, I should say. But then others I can't see any preview, and I have to add it to my timeline in order to get a preview at all. And then if I don't like it, I have to delete it and start the process all over again. It takes forever to find something I like. And then plugins are optimized over others. So again, some of these titles I throw on the timeline, and I've had projects completely crash and not export. It hangs up each time, causing it to fail. And I'd spend hours trying to figure out what the problem is, only to find that this stupid little title plugin, for whatever reason, is causing the entire program to crash. Or they'll just like ruin your playback because they're just not optimized to playback at different resolutions. What I'm trying to say is the experience is kind of all over the place, and anytime I make YouTube videos, commercial projects, anything like that, I'm like, okay, I need to add some graphics here. I know that I'm going to be in for a headache. And that's why most of my YouTube videos don't have fancy graphics. Now, when a commercial project, narrative film, YouTube video calls for something that I'm like, okay, I want this to look good, I want the graphics to be easy and look great, then I essentially create the whole video in DaVinci Resolve, export it as a ProRes file, and then throw that into Final Cut, where I get the blissful experience of motionvfx. Like I said before, they make a wide range of plugins with all sorts of various use cases to them, but what makes them different is how you install and interact with them. So the first thing you're ever going to install if you go to buy one of their plugins or templates is download the MInstaller. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because they actually just came out with a whole new update to this. It's a much better and bigger interface that allows you to see all of your purchased plugins and templates. It allows you to easily install, repair, uninstall however you want. And so when you open the MInstaller, like I said, you see everything that you've purchased. And if something isn't already installed, you just click install, and then it is going to go through the back end of Final Cut, puts the files where they need to go so that we don't have to become kind of programmers or coders or anything, and we can just get to our editing much faster. And then also, if we're having any sort of bugs, like one of my motionvfx callouts was like not allowing for characters, it was just doing like hieroglyphics, it was kind of spazzing out. So all I had to do was open up MInstaller and choose the repair option, and it essentially reinstalls the plugin very quickly, which fixes bugs most of the time. Now, once you've got it installed past the MInstaller screen, they're going to be in their proper place as soon as you open up Final Cut. And again, these are a joy to use every single time. You can easily scrub through them. It's smooth as butter. Pick the style that you want, drag it onto your timeline, and then especially if you have background render turned on, it's going to render just as fast as any other clip will. You can stack multiple of these on top, and it's an amazing experience. And I remember a year or two ago, I actually reached out to motionvfx and I said, can you please make plugins for DaVinci Resolve? And for the reasons I mentioned earlier, that DaVinci Resolve's backend or whatever just doesn't make it easy for developers to create good plugins for it yet. They know that their plugins won't have the same experience as they do in Final Cut. And so they politely said, we don't really want to do that right now. So anytime I've mentioned motionvfx in previous videos, people have commented on the price. And when I first saw them, I'm like, okay, that's kind of expensive. But when you think about this experience and how much time and money these plugins have saved me, the value of them is definitely worth the price. And above those technical reasons, in my opinion, they are definitely the best designed. You have a great number of parameters to make them not look just like a template that you kind of cookie cutter in all your videos. It allows you to customize with colors and fonts and graphical changes that are necessary. And the whole buying process straight from their website. You can easily see all of the included presets on whichever plugin page you're checking out. You can see a sample video. They include tutorials and walkthroughs on how to install it and how to troubleshoot. Again, I know this sounds like, you know, some crazy, like they slipped me money under the table, but as nice as that would be, I promise you they did not. But if you do want to help support me, if you want to check out motionvfx plugins, the links down in the description below are affiliate ones. So, you know, if you're going to buy a plugin, I'd appreciate it if you use one of those. And let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. What do you think about motionvfx? What do you think about the other plugins I mentioned? If you have a plugin recommendation that you think works really well, especially if it's for DaVinci Resolve, let me know down there and I would love to check it out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.